Now on CoastTV News.
Dress warm, Delmarva. Wind chills are in the teens and 20s this morning on what will be a blustery Veterans Day on the peninsula. I'll have details on how long the cold temperatures stick around.
Heroes remembered today, the celebration for those who served our nation that had to be moved indoors in Lewes.
Congress compromise.
Somebody's, trying to get leverage, to get bills passed in their party, and I don't think that's right.
With the federal government shutdown nearing an end, the frustration felt on Delmarva over the interruption of benefits.
Eagles escape.
Shoulder pump fake, end zone. It is caught for the touchdown.
The Birds make it 3 wins in a row in a low-scoring game against the Packers.
This is CoastTV News Today.
And it is Tuesday, November 11th, 2025. Good morning, I'm Matt Pensick.
Good morning, Matt. I'm Grace Eckerly, and thank you for being up with us during this 5 o'clock hour.
And it is Veterans Day. A big thank you for those who answered the call to serve in our nation's armed forces today.
Yes, and First Alert Meteorologist Chris Mastrobono is joining us now with the first look at your Veterans Day forecast. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning, Grace and Matt, and it is a cold start out there. That cold we've been telling you about is here, and we're going to see a rather blustery day ahead. We're seeing a temperature right now 34 degrees. Dew point is 20, so we're very dry out there. Temperature-wise, we're definitely seeing temperatures in the 30s across the area, but those wind chills, look at the wind chill, feels like 25 in Bridgeville, feels like 30 in Millsboro, 29 in Gumboro, and 25 in Salisbury. And that's thanks to those northwest winds gusting as high as 29 miles an hour, Indian River Inlet, to 25 in Millsboro. Now we are dry, partly cloudy skies across the area. Disturbance to our south, bringing some snow showers to the northern portions of Carolinas as well as the Outer Banks, believe it or not. Not seeing any snow here, but you are seeing some lake effect snow as that colder air pushes over the warmer lakes. So as I mentioned, it's going to be a blustery day, plenty of sunshine, but it's going to feel like the 30s most of the day, despite temperatures getting into the 40s by the afternoon. You can see the wind chill here notated in the pink, only going to feel like freezing by around lunchtime. I'll have details on how long this cold weather sticks around in that full 7-day forecast.
Thank you, Chris. And our top story this hour is the honoring of those who served in the military. November 11th is Veterans Day.
And this is now when we go live to Lewes with CoastTV's Elisa Weber. Elisa, there are events and ceremonies held all over Delmarva today, including the one where you're at now.
Good morning, Matt and Grace. Right now, I am in front of the Flags for Heroes display in Lewes, right in front of the Cape Henlopen School District office. And this display was put on by the Lewes Rehoboth Rotary Club. There are a total of 500 flags right here in this field honoring our heroes. And today there will be a Flags for Our Heroes ceremony that will be held at Cape Henlopen High School at 11 a.m. That ceremony has been moved indoors due to the cold weather. And we spoke with a Vietnam veteran about his time serving our country and why it is so important to honor our veterans not only today but every day.
Why is it important? Well, because the folks that are veterans or the folks that went out there and gave their lives for people, and it's our duty to remember that those people made the ultimate sacrifice. It's our duty to remember that they made that sacrifice.
And honoring our heroes goes well beyond today, and this display will be up until Friday. Thank you again to all of our veterans for their service. Back to you.
According to the American Legion Post 28, people can pay tribute at a ceremony starting at 11 a.m. There will be keynote speakers and food.
Ocean Pines Association says its event is at 11 a.m. at the Worcester County Veterans Memorial. That ceremony includes patriotic music, guest speakers, and a National Gold Star Memorial dedication.
In Salisbury, people can head to the Wicomico County Civic Center at 11 a.m. Organizers say there will be music, prayers, and a remembrance of all veterans.
And in Lewes, people will gather at Post 17 to honor service members. They can also bring memorabilia for a tribute table. Also, in honor of Veterans Day, Wawa is offering free and any size hot coffee. This is for veterans, active military, and their families. Company says no ID is needed, and the offer lasts all day.
Delaware Senator Lisa Blunt Rochester has introduced a resolution recognizing Black veterans across American history. According to the senator's office, the resolution also calls for the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs to continue seeking solutions to mend the health and benefit disparities for minority veterans.
And we are now taking a live look at Washington, D.C., and this just in, the longest government shutdown in history appears to be coming to an end after the Senate passed a deal to fund the government through January 30th.
NBC's Alice Barr shows us how the deal will reverse Trump's attempted layoffs of federal workers and fully fund SNAP, but doesn't extend expiring Obamacare subsidies.
In a major step toward reopening the government, the Senate overnight giving its final approval to a bill that funds the government through the end of January.
The bill as amended is passed.
It now heads to the House, where members in recess since late September are racing back to Washington.
I got a built consensus among the members, and that is what we will do.
House Republicans can only afford to lose 2 votes, with Democrats opposed.
We're going to fight hard to defeat it.
The party divided over the move by 8 Senate Democrats who broke ranks to vote with Republicans to end the shutdown, despite no promises on the central sticking point, extending Affordable Care Act subsidies.
I think it was a terrible, terrible vote at a time when we have a broken healthcare system.
Senate leadership did agree to a vote before the subsidies expire at the end of the year, sending healthcare costs soaring.
We crystallized the fight about healthcare for the American people and made it clear who's holding that up. It's President Donald Trump, it's Speaker Johnson, and it's the Republicans.
Others arguing Democrats were winning the messaging fight on healthcare and affordability.
You saw that the polling was going our way, and we could have, in my opinion, continued talking about that and potentially had a better outcome.
Republicans saying they want a healthcare fix too. President Trump again floating sending Americans direct payments paid for through tariff revenue.
We want a healthcare system where we pay the money to the people instead of the insurance companies.
Administration officials have couched that idea as informal brainstorming. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
No Democratic senators from Delaware or Maryland voted with Republicans on the bill. Only one Democratic senator from our region voted yes. That was Virginia Democrat Tim Kaine, was the only senator from our region to vote in favor of that funding bill. People on Delmarva are divided about it. Some people think Democrats should hold the line for healthcare subsidies. Others tell us they don't think that it's fair that the impact the government shutdown is having on everyday people, saying that it needs to end.
I think that they're trying to make a point that they're taking people's health care away. So I understand why they did that.
People suffering because somebody's, trying to get leverage, to get bills passed in their party. And I don't think that's right.
Now that senators have approved the bill, it heads to the House for a vote. Delaware's lone Congresswoman Sarah McBride has already said that she will not support it, while Maryland's Andy Harris has indicated that he will vote for it. That brings us now to our CoastTV poll. We want to know what matters most in a shutdown deal.
So let's take a look at the updated results. The healthcare help getting 50% of people voting. Also a good number of people voting for federal work pay. And then we also have SNAP benefits and bipartisan support. So we also have a comment from Bruce in Selbyville who says our federal workers should never have to go without pay, even during a shutdown. If you haven't voted yet, you can still do so at coasttvnews.com or our mobile app. Got developing news. It was a calm town council meeting in Georgetown Monday night surrounding a contentious issue. Now, for the past few weeks, an online group has urged town officials to fix a growing homeless issue. Town council members say they've seen increases in the homeless population over the last few years, and they're working with state and local groups to increase support systems and affordable housing.
One of the hardest things for the folks who live in town is there's a lot of outside influences coming in, and we're being pillared for being heartless or callous, and that's not the case. A lot of us here in town have walked around town, we talk to people, we see the amount of outside influences coming in. They're trying to help, but what they're doing is not helping. It's a Band-Aid.
We also heard an update from the Springboard LLC. They operate the Pallet Village in Georgetown, and some stats officials say that the Pallet Village has helped more than 200 people statewide in 2025, and 40% of those people were able to move on to transitional or permanent housing after leaving. Not a lot of offense in the Eagles' Monday night game against the Packers. The only touchdown for the Birds was this 36-yard Jalen Hurts touchdown pass to Devontae Smith. Birds hold on for a 10-7 win. The NFC East leading Eagles return home Sunday night to face the Lions. We'll have more on this game later on CoastTV News Today.
New this morning, starting on Thursday, Delaware's EasyPass website will look a lot different, and DMV leaders say it'll be easier to use. According to the DMV, the updated site will feature monthly toll invoices, combining all charges into a single bill, toll by plate at all exit ramps for those without EasyPass, and new email and text alerts for account updates and low balances. But to make sure that you make the switch, all the agency says the EasyPass online services will be offline from 8 p.m. November 13th through 7 a.m. November 18th. And we're just getting started on this hour of CoastTV News Today.
Coming up, crosswalk controversy, the debate in Salisbury, as plans to repave a rainbow crosswalk are set to begin today.
Also, focus on fire damage. We'll tell you how much investigators estimate damage could cost after a massive Monday night fire.
Still ahead, walking for Alzheimer's awareness and research, how hundreds in Rehoboth Beach raise money to fight the disease. It's this week's Ties That Bind Us. And First Alert meteorologist Chris Mastrobono in the Weather Center, tracking some cold temperatures. We check in with him next.
Good Tuesday morning, Delmarva. The coldest air mass of the fall season is here. And yes, you're going to want to dress for cold weather, dust off that winter coat, and grab those sunglasses and coffee. 34 degrees in Salisbury. See, temperatures right now are generally in the lower to mid 30s. We're at 32 in Harrington. But those winds, look at the wind gusts, 28 Indian River Inlet to 24 in Millsboro, creating wind chills in the 20s this morning. Feels like 26 in Lewes, 25 in Bridgeville. We have a few snow showers well to the south of the peninsula, but we are going to stay, well, just sunny and dry for our Veterans Day, with temperatures only rising into the mid 40s, but it's going to feel like the 30s with those wind gusts to 40 miles an hour. I'll have some warmer temperatures in that 7-day forecast, and I'll bring that to you here in minutes. Grace.
Thank you, Chris. Wednesday, November 12th in Lewes, you may notice low water pressure or discolored water, and that's because the Lewes BPW will be conducting hydrant flow testing. So if you do happen to notice some discolored water, officials say you can run your cold water for 10 to 15 minutes until it clears up, and avoid doing laundry during the tests.
Georgetown is in search of a new member to serve on the Board of Adjustment. This role is a 3-year term. Applicants must live in Georgetown and know about urban and rural planning and development. The board hears and decides appeals regarding special exceptions and potential errors, and the meetings are held on the first Wednesday of each month at 5 p.m.
Most of us never realize how lucky we are simply to remember things. Sure, you might forget where you put your keys or your wallet, but somebody that's suffering with Alzheimer's might forget the face of the person that matters most to them. Brandon Ferguson has a report this week about a group trying to do something about that disease. They're raising awareness, raising money, and trying to find a cure.
Community coming together, from the youth to the elderly. Everyone gathered at Grove Park for the Walk for Alzheimer's.
I'm a little bit emotional this morning.
Who all have been touched by this disease. Walkers had 4 flowers to pick from, each one with a different meaning. Blue flowers are for someone living with Alzheimer's or another dementia. Yellow, a person currently supporting or caring for someone with the disease. Purple, those who have lost someone to Alzheimer's. And orange, supporters of the cause to fight against the disease. Before the walk started, a garden ceremony happens where every color is called out and people raise their flower. With 2 special white flowers given to young members of the crowd, the white flowers represent a generation who hopes to have a cure. Stephanie McDonough is on walk 23. She lost both her husband and mother-in-law to Alzheimer's and says just seeing everyone gather fills her heart.
This gives us hope, and it gives us the money to continue the research that someday I have great-grandchildren now. They will not have to fight this disease. It's devastating.
The Rehoboth Beach Walk raised over $159,000 with 444 people walking.
Each day is different. each day is new challenges.
That was Sonia Brown. Her husband has the disease. Brown is currently his caretaker.
That has been my biggest issue, is as being an advocate for those who have the disease, is to find resources for caregivers as well as for the person that has the disease.
Like Brown, more than 12 million Americans provide unpaid care for someone with Alzheimer's or another dementia, according to the Alzheimer's Association. It was bittersweet for organizer Ashley Mittelmeyer, whose grandmother lost her battle to the disease.
To have this much awareness is amazing. This is a terrible disease that affects way too many people, especially in our state, let alone the whole country.
As the walk started, young and old walked for a cure and awareness of the disease. Even for those who suffer from this disease and struggle to remember, the next generation now carries this memory and walk for the rest of their lives. For the Ties That Bind Us, I'm Brandon Ferguson.
Time is 5:20, and here is a live look at the inlet sea near the Isle of Wight in Ocean City. And Chris, wind chill in the 20s for some of us in November. That's not the fall I was hoping for.
Yeah, a little rude awakening this morning after being in the 70s over the weekend. And you could see that cold air mass encompassing most of the eastern half of the country. That cold going all the way down to portions of Mississippi and Georgia. Right now we are at 35 in Rehoboth Beach. Very dry out there. Temperatures right now right around the freezing mark in Harrington. We are at 34 in Seaford and 34 in Millsboro. Winds, though, are cracking anywhere between about 20 to near 30 miles an hour, and that's creating, wind chills in the 20s. Feels like 25 in Indian River Inlet. Feels like 26 in Bridgeville and 25 in Salisbury. We're dry. We have a little disturbance to the south here. Maybe had a flurry there in Accomack County, but look at the snow showers across the Outer Banks of all places, right? And you can see the wind effect coming off the Great Lakes, that warmer lakes creating the lake effect snow machine kicking off there. Gale warnings continue through midnight Wednesday. We also have gale warnings up through this evening across the southern half of the peninsula, as well as the bayside for that threat of winds as high as 30 to 40 miles an hour. And that freeze warning continues for Accomack County. 37 right now in Ocean City. The wind chills are going to steal the show through the morning and through the day today. We're going to see wind chills really only in the 30s through the afternoon, despite sunny skies. And then we'll see milder temperatures as we go into Wednesday. Highs today are going to be in the low to mid 40s, but I mentioned that wind chill making you feel much colder. We're going to see partly cloudy skies overnight, not as cold tonight. We'll dip into the mid to upper 30s, and then we'll notice that southwest wind kicking in, and that will allow temperatures to rise back into the 50s tomorrow before another weak front moves through Wednesday night into Thursday. There's those winds this afternoon out of the west, northwest, gusting as high as 40 miles an hour. We'll see the wind shift out of the southwest overnight into Wednesday. And then we're looking at breezy conditions continuing for Wednesday, even into Thursday. As that front pushes through, we'll see that wind shift more out of the west. Now, the front is going to be a dry front. And in fact, we're going to stay pretty dry through most of the week. Our next chance of rain, small chance, won't come until Sunday night into Monday as high pressure settles in. And we're looking at a really nice stretch of weather here once we get past this cold stretch. And then there's that chance of rain rolling in on Sunday night into Monday. 7-day forecast shows 56 for Wednesday, mostly sunny skies through Thursday, a little cooler behind the front on Thursday, mostly sunny Friday, 57. And right now the weekend looking pretty nice. Will be a bit milder into Sunday ahead of a potential shower chance there, 67 degrees. Matt.
Thank you, Chris. One home is destroyed after a massive fire in Accomack County. This was in the Captain's Cove neighborhood in Greenbackville Monday night. According to first responder, flames completely engulfed the house and left minor damage after spreading to 2 neighboring homes. Firefighters say it took about an hour and 20 minutes to put it out, and first responders we spoke with say the cost of the damage is likely more than $1 million.
The wind was obviously pushing the flames towards the other home, so it was just difficult trying to quickly put those out before we had 3 homes fully engulfed.
And no injuries were reported, and while the fire's cause has yet to be determined.
Up next on CoastTV News Today, crosswalk controversy We'll tell you about the pushback from some people in Salisbury as the plans to change this rainbow crosswalk gets underway. Don't go anywhere. People are pushing back on repaving a rainbow crosswalk in Salisbury as work is expected to start today. PFLAG, an organization that supports the LGBTQ community, first painted that crosswalk back in 2018, but Salisbury Mayor Randy Taylor says it's time to go back to a more neutral design, citing a previous Supreme Court ruling. City Councilwoman Michelle Gregory says the decision sends a hurtful message.
Viewpoint discrimination is allowing there to be, preferential political or messages in the walkways, not dissimilar to other messages like NRA. Or so it's saying if you're going to do that, you're going to have to let other people do the same thing. We're just not willing to go down that road.
It's unfortunate that that kind of bigotry is leading our city, and I just don't agree with it.
The crosswalks are scheduled to be milled today and then repaved this week. Mayor Taylor says there are no plans to allow the crosswalk to be painted with any new artistic angle.
Cold, dry start to our Tuesday on Delmarva as we take a live look into Ocean City, where it is 37 degrees, winds out of the northwest, 16 miles an hour. It is going to be a blustery day along the coast from Ocean City to Fenwick Island. We'll get up to around 52 by around your lunchtime. It's going to feel like the 30s all day long. 41 by around your lunchtime in Lewes and Rehoboth, and a cold day in the Bay. Cambridge 45 by around 4 o'clock, but those temperatures are going to be deceiving because with those 40-mile-an-hour gusts, it's going to feel like the mid to upper 30s. Mark Jones, Millville, Delaware. Congratulations on winning an umbrella from CoastTV, and as always, you get your latest forecast by calling our First Alert weather phone. There are milder temperatures ahead in that 7-day forecast. I'll show you those coming up in the next half hour.
After the break on CoastTV News today, shutdown end in sight. What's next for lawmakers now that the funding bill has passed its first hurdle?
Also, Delmarva honors Veterans Day. The ceremony is taking place across the peninsula in honor of our heroes.
And colder weather is coming. How soon to expect a drop in temperatures here on Delmarva as an Arctic blast makes its way up the East Coast. CoastTV News today. We'll be right back.
Now on CoastTV News.
Heroes remembered today in the celebration for those who served our nation that had to be moved indoors in Lewes.
Dress warm, Delmarva. Wind chills are in the teens and 20s this morning on what will be a blustery Veterans Day on the peninsula. I'll have details on how long the cold temperatures stick around.
Seeking homeless solutions, where Georgetown officials are looking to deal with a growing homeless situation.
Safety speed start, the new deterrents on Coastal Highway, and the fines for speeding that begin today.
This is CoastTV News Today.
November 11th, 2025. Good morning, everybody. I'm Matt Pensick. Good morning, Grace.
Good morning, Matt. I'm Grace Eckerly. Thank you for being up with us.
5:32 a.m. We do have the federal holiday today. Schools are closed as we honor those who helped defend our freedoms.
Yes, and it's now time to take a look with First Alert meteorologist Chris Mastrobono. He's joining us now to tell us how you can prepare as you make your way out the door.
Good morning, Grace and Matt. Yes, it's a cold start. We've been telling you about this cold air mass, and it is here. Seeing temperatures right now 34 in Dover. Right now we're holding in the lower to mid 30s. We're at 32 Harrington, 33 Bridgeville, 34 Delmar, and 35 in Bethany Beach. The story is the wind chills. It feels like 26 Indian River Inlet, 26 in Lewes, 25 in Bridgeville. That's due in part to these wind gusts. 23 in Indian River, 20, and the winds are actually going to get stronger through the morning and afternoon. Now we're dry for the most part. We have a little weak disturbance to our south, producing some snow showers along the Virginia and Carolina coast. Can't rule out a stray flurry there in Accomack County, but you can see the lake effect snow machine kicking off with that colder air riding over the warmer lake. So a blustery Veterans Day, feeling more like December. Highs in the 40s, but feeling like the 30s. Sunshine continues into Wednesday, not as cold as we'll be back up into the 50s. There are some 60s in that 7-day forecast. I'll have that for you here in minutes.
All right, looking forward to that. Thank you, Chris. And our top story this half hour, an Arctic blast. It continues its record-setting trek east today.
Right, Matt. It was a little chilly this morning. Amy Kiley now shows us how it's impacting areas from New York to the Sunshine State.
An Arctic blast could bring inches of snow and potentially record-setting cold to parts of the eastern U.S. today. Even Florida could reach historic lows before the polar plunge is done, according to meteorologists.
It's too cold. It's too early. It's not even Thanksgiving yet. It needs to heat back up soon because we're freezing.
Forecasters predict snow near Lake Erie today. Some Midwesterners are still digging out after double-digit accumulations in certain areas yesterday. This Wisconsin man says he marks the first snowfall each year by making snow angels in his swim trunks.
My stepfather came into my life. As a dare, he made me do it, and I've been doing it ever since.
For others, the weather means work rather than play.
I woke up in my normal time thinking we were just going to get the cold air, but this is totally different. This is actually get dressed and actually be outside in the cold.
My wife's over there helping Leslie, and I'm trying to get this running, and I'm going to go across the street and help them. She's at work.
The storm is hitting at the same time as air traffic controller shortages across the country. Chicago's O'Hare Airport reports average delays of more than 5 hours yesterday.
I'm exhausted, I am tired, I am mad. I just want to sleep.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
And as we mentioned, today is November 11th, which is Veterans Day, a day to honor all those who have served in the U.S. Armed Forces, both living and deceased.
Yeah, there are events and ceremonies held all over the coast today, and our Elisa Weber is live in Lewes, where one of those is taking place later today. Good morning, Elisa.
Good morning, Matt and Grace. Right now, I am in front of the Flags for Our Heroes display. This is located in Lewes, right in front of the Cape Henlopen School District office. And this display was organized by the Lewes-Rehoboth Rotary Club. There are 500 flags right here in this field honoring our heroes. And today there will be a Flags for Our Heroes ceremony put on by the Rotary Club. That will be at 11 a.m. But that ceremony was moved indoors due to this harsh weather that we are experiencing. And we also spoke with a Vietnam veteran, Chuck Ward, who is also the past president of the Rotary Club, and he told us why he chooses to be involved with this event.
Well, I am a veteran, but I was told early in my life that to put another log on the fire, and that is important to give back to the community certain gifts that people would not.
And honoring our heroes goes well beyond today, and this display will be up until Friday. Thank you again to all of our veterans for their sacrifices. Back to you.
Lisa Weber in Lewes, thank you. Veterans Day events across Delmarva today, including in Millsboro at the American Legion Post 28. That one begins at 11 a.m. with keynote speakers and food.
The Ocean Pines Association says that its event is at 11 a.m. at the Worcester County Veterans Memorial. That ceremony includes patriotic music, guest speakers, and a National Gold Star Memorial dedication.
In Salisbury, people can head to the Wicomico County Civic Center at 11 a.m. Organizers say there's music, prayers, and remembrance of all veterans.
And in Lewes, people will gather at Post 17 to honor service members and can bring memorabilia for a tribute table. As we're taking a live look now into Washington, D.C., new overnight, the Senate has passed a bipartisan billion Monday night to reopen the government to bring an end to the record-long shutdown. The final vote was 60-40, with 8 Democrats joining Republicans to break the stalemate. Every Republican voted in favor except Kentucky Senator Rand Paul. The package includes funding for SNAP benefits through next September and keeps much of the government running on a short-term basis through January 30th. The Democratic Party divided over the move by 8 Senate Democrats who broke ranks to vote with Republicans to end the shutdown.
I think it was a terrible, terrible vote at a time when we have a broken healthcare system.
We crystallized the fight about health care for the American people and made it clear who's holding that up. It's President Donald Trump, it's Speaker Johnson, and it's the Republicans.
The measure now heads to the House, which could take it up as early as Wednesday.
Starting today, fines for speeding that are picked up by the camera DelDOT recently installed on Route 1. The department says it's located north of Minus Conaway Road and south of Cave Neck in the Lewes area. Cameras will snap your tag if you're going 11 miles or more over the limit and issue a fine to the driver. Officials say fines start at $20 plus $1 for every mile over. and other speeding fees may apply. DelDOT says repeat offenses cost even more.
At a surprisingly calm town council meeting in Georgetown Monday evening surrounding a contentious issue. For the past few weeks, an online group in Georgetown has been urging town leaders to fix a growing homelessness issue. This comes as officials say they've seen increases in the homeless population over the last few years. Town leaders say they are working with the state and local groups to increase support systems and affordable housing.
New this morning, the Delaware Department of Natural Resources and Environmental Control heading to Bethany Beach. They say they'll do this later this month or in early December, and it's to repair several damaged beach crossovers. You can just see how a powerful nor'easter in mid-October left behind a 6-foot sand drop along the boardwalk. And Mayor Ron Califf says while the protection system worked, funding for future beach replenishment remains uncertain.
New this morning, starting on Thursday, Delaware's E-ZPass website will look a lot different, and DMV leaders say it'll be easier to use. According to the DMV, the updated site will feature monthly toll invoices combining all charges into a single bill, toll by plate at all exit ramps for those without E-ZPass, and new email and text alerts for account balances, updates. And to make the switch, all agency says E-ZPass online services will be offline from 8 p.m. November 13th through 7 a.m. on November 18th.
Yeah, we got a lot more news to get to in this half hour of Coast TV News Today. Don't go anywhere.
Coming up, Meals for Families in Need. We'll tell you how the Food Bank of Delaware is partnering with Delmarva businesses to give families a Thanksgiving meal.
Also, offensive limit. Not a lot of scoring between the Eagles and Packers last night. How the Birds survived their trip to Green Bay.
And a focus on medical future. We'll tell you how Tidal Health is helping people prepare for unexpected illness or injury. Stay with us on Coast TV News Today.
A cold, dry start to our Veterans Day here on Delmarva as we take a live look into Salisbury. Temperatures there are in the 30s, 34 degrees. Now, temperature-wise, not all that bad. We're at 33 Long Neck, 32 in Harrington, but when you factor in the winds, it feels like 25 Indian River Inlet, 27 in Lewes, 25 in Bridgeville, and 25 in Salisbury. And that's all thanks to northwest winds gusting as high as 20 to 25 miles an hour. We're going to see winds as high as 40. You can see some snow showers across western Pennsylvania and New York. We had a few snow showers well to our south across the Carolinas. So it's going to be a dry, cold day, feeling more like December on this Veterans Day. We'll get up to 44 through the afternoon with sunny skies, but with the winds, it's going to feel more like the 30s. We'll talk more about some sunny, dry weather continuing in the week ahead. Coming up, my full 7-day forecast. Matt.
Okay, Chris, in health news, today Tidal Health says they are hosting a free advanced care planning webinar that will help people make decisions about future medical treatment. This begins at 1 p.m. The session will assist participants with questions about their healthcare preferences in the event there's an unexpected illness or an unexpected injury. And Tidal Health says they encourage adults to participate, noting that serious accidents or illnesses can occur at any time.
Milford School District now offering people a way to stay healthy this winter season. According to the district, people can register for physicals, immunizations, lead and TB testing, along with other services. Health officials will offer the services on a free, low-cost or sliding scale cost. That's taking place tomorrow from 5 to 8 p.m. at Lulu Ross Elementary School.
BB Healthcare has now launched an upgrade to patient care. The organization says it is using the MyChart patient portal and Epic, which is an electronic health record system. Now BB officials are touring Sussex County to help patients sign up for MyChart, and that first sign-up meeting takes place Friday, November 14th at 8 a.m. at BB's Long Neck Health Center.
Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
Good football isn't always pretty. The Eagles and Packers were each at the top of their respective divisions before they played last night. It might not have seemed like that way to you, though. It was scoreless through halftime. Philadelphia kicker Jake Elliott finally hit a 39-yard field goal in the third quarter to break the stalemate. Then in the fourth quarter, Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts says, "I've had enough." Rifles a 36-yard touchdown strike to Devontae Smith for a touchdown after an ugly game. That's a nice, pretty play to cleanse your palate. 2-possession lead for Philly. Finally, Green Bay gets out of bed. Gritty run by Josh Jacobs, single-handedly keeping the Packers in this game, lowers the shoulder. Hey, Green Bay has a chance, only down 10-7. The defense did its job and got a stop too. Offense gets the ball back. The offense actually gets 2 chances. First one, Jacobs fumbles. It was 4th down. Didn't get the first anyways. Eagles ball. Philadelphia punts it away quickly, and Green Bay gets a field goal attempt to send it to OT, and Brandon McManus's kick didn't have the leg. Eagles win 10-7. The Eagles improve to 7-2 and have a 3.5 game lead in the NFC East. That'll do it for sports. Have a great day.
And coming up tonight on DSN at 6, we have a live NCAA women's basketball when Maryland Eastern Shore hosts Monmouth, and then catch the final score at 10:30.
It's 2025, and Michael Jackson is back on the Billboard charts. Rick Damangella has that story and more in our Hollywood Minute.
Michael Jackson is back on the charts. Billboard reports Jackson's classic Thriller returned to the top 10 of the Hot 100 singles charts this week. Jackson is now the first music artist to reach the top 10 in 6 different decades. Tell me, did you sail across the sun? More music news as Train hits the concert trail. The band will roll out on its Drops of Jupiter 25 Years in the Atmosphere tour next summer, celebrating the 25th anniversary of the double Grammy-winning single and album. Special guests Bare Naked Ladies and Matt Nathanson will join Train on the tour.
You should know that strange occurrences do happen here.
There's nothing strange about a classic returning to cinemas. Hayao Miyazaki's The Boy and the Heron returns to movie screens this week as the final release of Studio Ghibli Fest 2025. Locations and showtimes at fathomentertainment.com. In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damangella.
If you're having a rough week, you can cheer up with a weekly dose of local good news from Coast TV with personal features, fun things to do each weekend, and more. You can sign up for free at coasttv.com/sign up and get your weekly dose of joy directly to your inbox on Friday.
Well, we have a blustery, sunny Veterans Day ahead of us here on the peninsula, feeling more like the 30s throughout the day with wind gusts as high as 40 miles an hour. The sunny, dry weather does continue for the rest of the week. I'll talk more about that coming up right after the break.
The time is now 5:50 as we're taking a live look into Salisbury, and as we mentioned, it is Veterans Day, and a lot of people may have the day off from work or school for the federal holiday. Maybe they're heading out to some Veterans Day memorials, and they can expect a chillier day when they head outside, Chris.
Oh yeah, dress warm, grab the coffee, the hot chocolate, and you can see the cold air mass encompassing much of the eastern half of the country. You got to go all the way to the west, California and the desert Southwest to escape the cold, as we're seeing some cold temperatures across the area. Now the temperature is not too bad across the area. We're in the lower to mid 30s. We're at 32 Harrington, 33 Gumboro, 34 in Rehoboth. But when you factor in the winds, it feels like 24 in Indian River Inlet, feels like 25 in Salisbury, and 24 in Bridgeville. And you can see those winds gusting out of the northwest, anywhere from 26 in Indian River Inlet to 24 in Georgetown. So it's going to be a blustery day, a dry day. We had 1 week disturbance past our south. You can see some snow showers across the Virginia and North Carolina coast, maybe a brief flurry there, Accomack County, but you can see the streaming bands of lake effect snow pushing across western Pennsylvania and New York. We do have gale warnings that continue for the Delmarva coast. Those run through early Wednesday morning, as well as this evening for the southern portion of the peninsula, as well as the bay. Freeze warning continues for Accomack County. The wind chills are going to be the story through the morning, staying in the 20s by the afternoon. It's going to only feel like 34 in Georgetown, 33 in Rehoboth, and then we'll see more of a southwest wind flow kick in overnight. Highs today, 45 in Lewes, 45 Dover to 45 in Cambridge, 47 Vienna, and we'll see a high of 47 in Princess Anne. As we go into the overnight, partly cloudy skies, more of a southerly flow, so that's going to allow for temperatures to fall mid-30s under partly cloudy skies, and will be milder into Wednesday. Sunshine continues mid to upper 50s, and then we'll have another cold front that will push through the area late Wednesday through Thursday, not expecting much moisture with that front. There's those winds. gusting to near 40 miles an hour through your afternoon today. And then I mentioned that wind will shift out of the southwest as we go into the overnight into Wednesday. That will allow for some slightly milder air to move in, and then the front pushes through, and then those gusts upwards of 30 to near 35 into Thursday. The good news is we stay dry for the remainder of the week and for most of the weekend. Another disturbance will be moving through late Sunday as high pressure builds in, moderating those temperatures back into the 50s and 60s. Next chance of rain will likely come late Sunday through Monday. It looks like, again, most of this will stay to our north, but we could see a few showers stream into the peninsula as we go into Sunday night. 54 Thursday behind the front, 57 Friday, sunny skies, partly sunny skies into Saturday, 55, and we'll bump it up to 67 degrees on Sunday with that late chance of showers, and then we're down to 60 on Monday.
Thank you, Chris. The Harry K. Foundation with the Food Bank of Delaware and Purdue Farms says they're giving out 1,000 Thanksgiving meal boxes. It's part of their annual Thanksgiving for All initiative on Wednesday, November 12th. They say local school representatives will pick up the boxes from the Milford branch of the Food Bank of Delaware for distribution.
And the time is now 5:53 a.m. as we are checking in with our coastal pet of the day. This is Annette. She is a beautiful girl from Lewes, or Annette actually sent this in. And this is Carson. It is Carson's 8th birthday today. The birthday boy was again submitted by Annette in Lewes. Matt, what do you think?
8 years old, yeah. What a great looking picture there. It's almost like Carson's posing there.
With a beautiful bandana.
Yeah.
And we want to see more of your pets on Delmarva. You can send us photos and tell us what makes them so special if you take a look at your screen now.
Yeah, you can scan that QR code top center, get your friends to us, and then watch weekdays from 5 to 7 a.m. to see all the pets we feature.
A winter-like Veterans Day on Delmarva. Cold and blustery 45. We'll see plenty of sunshine. Those winds gusts as high as 40 miles an hour, making it feel like the 30s through the afternoon. And your 10-day forecast shows temperatures rising into the 50s by tomorrow under sunny skies. And we'll see plenty of sunshine through the end of the week. So temperatures moderate, and we're not looking at an extended stretch of cold air if you're not a fan of the 20-degree wind chills this morning.
I'm not, Chris. Just to be clear, I'm not.
I know that.
All right. Well, thanks, Chris. We'll get more of you in our next hour. And also coming up in our next hour, salute to service, how Delmarva communities are honoring those who served in our nation's military. That and more when we continue with Coast TV News Today.